It was early in the evening when we got reports of these series of military strikes on a number of buildings in the southern Beirut suburb of Dahia. That is a suburb that is known as a Hezbollah stronghold. The IDF then confirmed that they had conducted a number of airstrikes on what they say is the headquarters of Hezbollah. Those buildings, several of them have collapsed. Residential buildings that would have been, would have had many civilians inside those buildings. So we don't quite know the extent of the death toll at the moment. We have just had updated figures from the Ministry of Health, who have warned that they expect the death toll will rise because there are still people they suspect to be buried under the rubble there, and emergency services and first responders are still physically trying to pick their way through multiple buildings that have collapsed, these giant craters we're seeing in images that have come out of there. Israel hasn't said specifically whether it was targeting any Hezbollah members, but Arab media and Israeli media is reporting that the leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, was one of the targets of these strikes. The military here has not confirmed that, but we are still yet to hear from authorities in Lebanon about the status of Hassan Nasrallah as well.
And have we heard from Hezbollah? Has there been reaction from the group?
Well, interestingly, we haven't heard anything from Hezbollah about these strikes specifically. We don't know if Hassan Nasrallah was in the building at the time, whether or not he has perhaps been injured, or indeed whether or not he could be killed. And there is heavy speculation that he may have been killed in these strikes, because we are still we have not heard anything from Hezbollah about the strikes, which is fueling speculation that something serious has happened to the leader of this militant group. The only commentary we've had from Hezbollah is claiming a small number of rockets that have been sent across the Lebanese border into Israeli territory as a small retaliation since the strike. So it seems very bizarre that we haven't heard anything from Hezbollah since then. We do know that locally in Israel, authorities say they are on alert. Bomb shelters have been opened across the country, for example, in places like Tel Aviv, although the military and security forces here are saying that they haven't made a decision to change the status of any security arrangements. So there are no kind of extra special security restrictions that have been put in place yet. But this is an incredibly serious escalation in the fight between Hezbollah and Israel. At the very least, this is attacking a number of buildings in Dahia where civilians are in the presence of and are expected to have been killed. At a more deep level, if Hassan Nasrallah has been killed, this could now draw in the major Hezbollah backer, Iran, catapulting this into a much wider conflict.